Welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to another edition of the dceu Daily. So yesterday we had our final trailer tease for Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut Full Trailer 2. But I want to talk about something else that Zack posted. This is on Vero and this is what he has to say. Also excited for you all to see this version. Hashtag Justice Grey. What is Justice Grey then? Well, I'm assuming it's the noir black and white version of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And you may be excited for us to see it, Zack, and I am triply more excited than you are for me to see it, for us all to see it. That's going to be awesome. So there's so much here to unpackage. The effort he's made in putting this film together, not just for home audiences, not just for cinematic audiences with a 10-minute interval, but a black and white noir version. This is the passion and depth that Zack puts into his product. How anyone can't like what this man does after the art and attention he makes is amazing. Right, as you already know, my videos are kind of done a day apart from when they're put out. Now, I'm going to explain this again, but for the new people in the room, I have very, very bad internet. I live in a village here in Cyprus. It takes about 4 or 5 hours to upload a 20-minute edition of the dceu Daily. So right now, as you're watching this, you've probably already seen multiple times Trailer 2 of Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut trailer. At this time, I probably would have seen it multiple times already. But this video is being shot at 10 AM Cyprus time and 8 AM GMT, which is UK time. So I can't react to the trailer, even though as you're watching this video, you're hyped for what you've just seen. And it's a bit frustrating if you're a fan of mine or you love watching these, that while you're watching this video, you've seen the trailer and you want to see me react to it. So I'm going to react to it over on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. So you'll be able to see my reaction there and I'll talk a lot about it. But in the next edition of the dceu Daily that I do, I'll be all over this trailer. But what you can do, if you're watching the premiere episode right now, just comment down below. Talk to me about it. Tell me your thoughts and feelings about the trailer. And I'll be watching this video along with you. And I'll react to your comments and I'll tell you how I feel. You can do that with the comments after the premiere finishes as well. So very, very exciting times to be a DC fan, to be a fan of the DC Snyderverse. And I can only imagine how you're feeling now if you've already seen that extended trailer of Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. But right now, we're going to unpackage this episode because there's a few other things to discuss. So let's get on with the latest edition of the dceu Daily. So Zack Snyder has said that Warner Brothers have no plans for a Justice League 2. Now, this is very, very smart from Zack Snyder. He knows this film's going to blow up big time. The trailer teases, all 3 of them, have blown up. The pictures of Jared Leto's Joker have blown up. The footage of Steppenwolf slashing the shit out of the Amazonians has blown up. And everything he's put up out there this week, it's been awesome reveal after awesome reveal. Black Suit Superman, of course, blew up. And so he knows whether you like this film after you've seen it or not, it's going to be very successful. It will get a mini theatrical run as well. And so basically what he's saying is you don't want to do it, but ultimately you're going to have no choice. And by saying this, what does he do again? Gets us hashtagging on Twitter. It's very, very smart. Let's be absolutely clear here. Zack Snyder wants to do more. He didn't stand by our side while we fought for release the Snyder Cut for his own health. He did it because he wanted to put his version of Justice League out there, right? And he wants to do more. Of course he does. He's not, as I say, he's not just doing it for his health, right? So Cooper Hood is talking about this at Screen Rant. Zack Snyder says Warner Brothers has no interest in his Justice League 2. That's just the headline, and there's a lot more going on here than that. Zack Snyder states that Warner Brothers has no interest in making Justice League 2 with him, even after completing and releasing the Snyder Cut. Zack Snyder says Warner Brothers has no interest in his Justice League 2 following the completion of Zack Snyder's Justice League, nearly 4 years after Snyder walked away from Justice League after the death of his daughter and constant battles with the studio. The call to release the Snyder Cut has almost reached its endpoint. HBO Max will be home of Zack Snyder's Justice League when it releases in March. The R-rated, nearly 4-hour director cut will be dramatically different from the film released in theatres in 2017. Ever since it was announced that the Snyder Cut was being released, though many have wondered what happens next, Snyder's cut of Justice League was originally envisioned to be the third entry in his fifth 5-movie plan, which is believed to include Justice League 2 and Justice League 3. Originally, this even included Justice League 2 coming out just a year after the first film, with WB giving it a 2019 release date back in 2014. Snyder never made any real progress on the Justice League sequels, though, and it seems unlikely that will change. I don't agree with that, Cooper. With the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League a few weeks away, many fans who campaigned for the movie to be completed and released are hopeful that the movie won't be the end of the Snyderverse. During a recent interview with iMinutemen via Comic Book, Snyder didn't sound very optimistic that this would happen. The director instead said that he's been given no signs that the studios have any interest in Justice League 2 or any DC movies from him. This is what Zack had to say. The reality is, as far as I know, there's no interest and or appetite to do more of these movies from Warner Brothers, with me anyway. But I didn't think finishing this film correctly would ever happen. But I did do my best to, as far as the creation of the Justice League, those different personalities being brought together, that idea, that's what this movie is about. Snyder finally getting to release his cut of Justice League is significant, but doing so was far more likely than continuing his universe. DC Films president Walter Hamada even referred to Justice League as a franchise dead end. Right, Walter Hamada never said this. Basically, in that New York Times article, it's actually the author of the article who says that, because apparently from sources he spoke to. So Walter never said that. Misquotations to cause trouble are not very good for us in the Snyderverse, because we can misquote people and be triggered by people. Walter didn't say this. It's as simple as that. That might be the plan. That's maybe what he's planning to do, but that's not what he said. There's clearly not much interest in continuing this story. The DCEU is just started to explore the possibilities of the multiverse, though, and a massive launch and positive reception for Zack Snyder's Justice League could provide Snyder with a chance to do more. It's undoubtedly still a long shot at this point, but it wasn't that long ago when the consensus online was that the Snyder Cut would never be released. Exactly, Cooper. Well done for saying that. All eyes are on Zack Snyder's Justice League at the moment, and its release in a few weeks will surely drive conversation about what will come next. Snyder already had Justice League 2's story planned, and he's repeatedly teased how Justice League's ending was supposed to set up what comes next. With no plans in place for Justice League 2, there's a strong chance the Snyder Cut will deliver a massive cliffhanger that will leave audiences wanting to see what happens next. Whether or not Justice League 2's story is ever brought to life on the screen or some other medium remains to be seen, but Snyder clearly isn't expecting it to happen right now. Oh, Snyder's a player, isn't he? My old mate Zack, well, he's not my mate, I've never met him. Although, an interesting thing happened. I thanked him on Vero. I commented on the post where he released the third trailer tease for Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. And I said, thank you, Zack. I woke up this morning and said, Zack Snyder mentioned you. Now, the problem is, I don't know how to use Vero that well. I know how to post a link on there and stuff, but I don't spend that much time on Vero. So I was trying to find what he what he said in the mention, but I couldn't find it. I'm assuming because I thanked him, I don't know what he said. Maybe he said, I like your videos. Maybe he watches the channel. I doubt it. But if you're watching, Zack, you're awesome. Of course you are. And I can't wait for the trailer, which you lot probably have already seen anyway. But I can't wait to see the actual movie. But anyway, Zack is again being that tactical genius that we know and love. He knows what to say. Now, he knows at this moment there may be, probably is not, no plans to release Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2 or to green light it for Zack to go and make it. But he's putting them in a very embarrassing situation. He knows what they think of him over at Warner Brothers Pictures, right? They see him as a complication, as a problem. But he knows, as I've already said, this film is going to blow up so big that they're going to have no choice. When I talk about it blowing up big, I'm not talking about us. Not us. Of course we're going to make it blow up big. Of course we're going to love what he puts out there. We appreciate and understand Zack's methods and the way he tells stories. But what's going to happen here? A lot of people that rejected Zack in the past are going to embrace what they see from this 4-hour movie. This is a Lord of the Rings style film. This is huge, and the mainstream may not all love it, but they're going to embrace it. They're going to want to see more. They're going to have a problem over at Warner Brothers Pictures, and again, they don't have any power here, really. Because if John Stankey sees it blow up so big, he's going to say to Zack, like he did with bringing the Snyder Cut to HBO Max, he's going to say, look, Zack, I don't care what anyone thinks within the company, you're going to do the sequel. You're going to keep on working on your vision for the DC Extended Universe in your own little sandpit. Yes, it will be a cul-de-sac. It will be nothing to do with what we're doing elsewhere, but it doesn't matter. This is the multiverse strategy, baby. So, even though Zack has said that he doesn't think that there's an appetite for them to make more DC projects with him, there will be an appetite because it's going to be so successful, so huge, they're not going to have a choice but to greenlight the sequel and another sequel. This is obvious. This is so obvious. You just see the tweets in 1 hour. You know, the other day it did a what? Did it do a million in 2 or 3, 4 hours? I don't know. But the views are big on those trailer teases. People are interested. Whether you like Zack or not, or the way he makes films, you are interested in this. You're going to watch this film. And that's all that matters. And I think this new regime understand that Zack is like Marmite. You either like him or hate him. But you're always going to watch his movies either to throw love at him or hate at him. And it's all money at Warner Media's door. So it really doesn't matter. And the beauty is now, we're not back in the days of Man of Steel and BVS where, you know, the Snyderverse was the central point of the DCEU. With this multiverse strategy, Zack's got his little corner. Over on HBO Max maybe, or wherever, right? But he's got his little corner and he doesn't affect what happens in the central universe. That's great for the people who don't like what he did. But it's also great for us because we can appreciate what he did. And we can keep on chanting him all the way home. I am so confident we're going to get more. But don't see my confidence as complacency. You've got to keep on hashtagging and keep on. I know at the moment it's about, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League and hashtagging Snyder Cut. And I understand that. But we're going to have to, we're not hashtagging Restore the Snyderverse enough. That has to be in your posts. It's such an important one so they can see that we want more. They know we want more, but they want the evidence. The shareholders are going to want to know evidence. This is how the movie industry, the entertainment industry works. It's about bureaucrats. It's about boardrooms. So the hashtags prove that an audience is going to pay money to see more. So don't misunderstand my confidence in more coming from Zack Snyder's DC Universe as complacency. We have still got to fight as hard as we did when we released or fought to get the Snyder Cut released. So I'm buzzing right now. The trailer teases. I'm anticipating this trailer. Again, if you're watching the premiere, just let me know what you thought about the trailer. I've already seen it because I'm in the future. I'm watching this in the future somewhere. Isn't that exciting? are watching this in the future, and we can talk down below while you're watching what I have to say. So don't take this article and this quote from Zack as a negative. This is just Zack being the tactical genius we know and love. This is one picture I didn't show you. This is Alfred and Bruce fixing the Batmobile, I think. And by the way, I forgot to mention that there's a new style of Batmobile in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it's the same design as the one as The Dark Knight Returns. Isn't that awesome? But apparently Zack doesn't know comic books. But isn't it interesting that people attack Zack for liking that graphic novel? It's one of the most awesome, brilliant graphic novels ever been done, and Zack knows all about it. He'd love to do a proper adaptation of that comic as well. But, you know, that's exciting. And what we've seen in all three of these teasers is a point that Zack wanted to put out there. So black-suited Superman using his heat vision, Darkseid, Granny Goodness, and stuff like that. So Steppenwolf slashing the Amazonians. You know, so Zack's been doing this on purpose to highlight certain things he thinks This is what he said to Fiona, wasn't it? He's doing this to say to diehard DC fans who have been dreaming about seeing this kind of stuff for years, it's in my movie. This is 4 hours of DC content. Imagine what I'm going to show you. They're not going to be able to resist. Zack is a genius. And Screen Rant, of course, have done a write-up about that image. New Justice League Snyder Cut photo shows Alfred working on the Batmobile. Can I just say something about the great Jeremy Irons? Because not enough is said from us about this guy. Just, you know, so many cast members who are not spoken about enough from the Snyderverse. Well, Jeremy Irons has worked with innovative creatives like David Cronenberg on one of the best films ever made, Dead Ringers. If you haven't seen Jeremy in that film, he plays twins. It's an amazing, heartbreaking story. So he's been working all his life. He's a critically acclaimed actor. And he had to take direction from that venomous, toxic criminal, Joss Whedon. Some of the things we're hearing he did are absolutely despicable. Imagine a great man, a great actor like this, taking direction from that scuzzball. Anyway, this article is from Dusty Stowe. A new Justice League image shows Batman's trusted butler, Alfred, tending to the Cape Crusader's impressive muscle car. The image comes in the lead up to director Zack Snyder's massive 4-hour cut of the film that's coming to HBO Max next month. Justice League was set to be DC's biggest film yet, coming off the heels of Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice, which was more polarising film than Warner Bros. Had anticipated. Following creative differences and a family tragedy, Snyder departed the production, replaced by Avengers director Joss Whedon. Whedon's cut of the film was shit. Let's just say it was shit, right? All right, anyway. Avengers director Joss Whedon. Whedon's cut of the film was a critical and financial bomb, and even led to regime change at DC Films. Well, it led to more than that. It led to regime change and ownership of Time Warner itself. The announcement that Snyder would be brought in to finish his version of the movie resulted from a massive fan campaign on social media to allow the director to complete his vision of the DC team-up film. The latest image from the film comes via Snyder's Vero account, showing Alfred hovering over the Batmobile with some dramatic lighting effects. Check it out below. So I've already shown this to you. Let me see if I can... What's he say here? Oh, yeah. I think I've already read that out to you, by the way. He basically says that he can't wait for us to see Justice League Grey, or however it is. Looking forward to the black and white version of Justice League as well. I can't believe we're getting that eventually as well. What I'm assuming is that the noir black and white version of Zack Snyder's Justice League will be part of the Blu-ray 4K colour version. That's what they did with Logan, wasn't it? Oh my God, the noir version of Logan. If Zack Snyder's Justice League is anywhere near as good as that, we've got something to look forward to, which we have, of course. The DC Extended Universe version of Alfred, played with the boozy charm by Jeremy Irons, is a slightly rougher, more utilitarian version of the character. He's a gruffer Alfred who's been in the battle with Batman for over 2 decades, and the wariness of what battle hangs over him just as much as it does Batman himself. To his credit, Alfred has taken the arrival of the other superpowered heroes in stride, serving as something of a coordinator to their efforts in the Whedon cut of the film. It remains to be seen what exactly Alfred will get up to in the Snyder cut of Justice League. We know he'll have an encounter with Superman sporting his all-black costume after his resurrection. It also stands to reason he'll serve his usually advisory role to Bruce. There's a decent chance this will be the last time we see Irons in the role. I hope not. I think Zack was going to kill him off in the next one, definitely. Alfred will be played by the Lord of the Rings luminary Andy Serkis in the upcoming Matt Reeves directed The Batman. If this is the last turn as Batman's most trusted ally, it'll be a shame. Irons has been one aspect of the DCEU that virtually everyone can agree on. His performance is appropriately intense, but he perfectly captures the spirit of the character. If Batman is going to get out of Justice League alive, he will need Alfred's help. Yeah, look, as I've already said, Jeremy Irons is a critically acclaimed actor. I haven't seen much of what he's done, but one of the films, my favourite film of his, is Dead Ringers. As I say, check it out, from one of the great writer-directors, David Cronenberg, a really risque kind of creative, a bit like Zack, but on another level. So go check out Dead Ringers with Jeremy Irons. You will really enjoy it if you like complicated, heartbreaking, complex storytelling. And if you love Snyder, you must love that. But Jeremy Irons was ace casting by Snyder, and he plays a very interesting Alfred. Here's something cool for you. This is Alan Ritchson from DC Titans with the actor cast to play Tim Drake on Titans, which is really, really cool. Looking forward to see what they do with that character. And by the way, Alan Ritchson, which is the tall blonde guy, played Aquaman. Yes, he played Arthur Curry in Smallville and did a stellar job with that as well. So there's DC connections all over the place there. Really, really exciting. So I've got a message here from friend of the channel, Scott Edwards, asking me this. At Movies TV Mad, on tomorrow's DCEU Daily, can you talk about Melissa Benoist signing a new deal with Warner Brothers Television and what this might mean for her future as Supergirl, and also just talk a little bit about the future of the Arrowverse in general? Right, I've done this before, we can do this again. I haven't spoken about Melissa's big deal. This is a really, really big deal for Mel, and I congratulate her. It's an overall deal, which includes her new production company as well. So what does this mean for her future as Supergirl? It means she's locked in with them, which basically means if they ever want her to play Supergirl, she will play Supergirl. The show's ending, so we're talking about after that. There's definitely a situation here where I think she definitely will be involved in Flashpoint. As I say, all these different characters from these different DC universes are all going to cameo in Flashpoint. So that's where you'll see her maybe next, or maybe you'll see her on another show, but you'll definitely see her in Flashpoint. I am 100% sure about that. So this means that they can get her to cameo on shows and movies. She could become the DCEU's actual Supergirl after Flashpoint as well. So very, very big. But this is Warner Brothers TV. That this is more about the television. But by her signing that exclusive deal, it means they can use her in whatever kind of fashion they want. They'll let her, they'll greenlight some of her projects, or basically it's like a first look deal. She'll give them a project and they'll either say yeah or nay. And that's how it works. And I have spoken about the future of Arrowverse, and the future of Arrowverse is internally linked to the future of the CW. And I've said this in the past couple of episodes. The CW is going through big changes. CBS are selling their shares to Warner Media. Warner Media will have complete control of the CW. Either they're going to use it as some kind of DC channel, or on a broadcasting level, which would be interesting, or the CW will be moved as a broadcaster over to HBO Max, where there'll be a little CW department where you can see these teeny-weeny kind of dramas. And Arrowverse. I think Arrowverse is certainly changing, but I think it's going to conglomerate with the other shows like Titans. Superman and Lois obviously stems originally from Arrowverse, but it's not got many connections apart from the actors we've seen on Arrowverse shows. We are now in the multiverse strategy, so things are changing. And so I think the future of Arrowverse isn't as much of its own verse, but it will be integrated in the huger DC live action universe. And that's how I see the future of Arrowverse, because I think as a broadcaster, the CW has always struggled. There's no question. You know, you could get about 200,000 people watching a program, and that's a big hit for them. So because they don't get many subscribers. Now, when it was the WB, the launch of Smallville had 7 million viewers. The CW could never reach that many homes. So that's the difference. So I think it's a channel that really doesn't have a future on broadcasting TV. And I do predict once CBS sell their shares to Warner Media, it will be moved over to HBO Max. Now, the great thing about this is it will cost less to run it. They'll have bigger budgets for their shows because they won't have an outlying of having a proper broadcasting network. So I think it's a very interesting future for Arrowverse and the CW, but times are changing. And, you know, I think there's a reason why CBS are selling out. They wanted to get involved to be co-owners of a channel for young women. In that element, it's been quite successful. Shows like The Vampire Diaries, of course, very successful for them. And shows like The 100, very successful with my very own personal friend in the real world, Ella, who starred in that show. So, and she made me watch that show, by the way. Yeah, I didn't actually want to watch it, but when she forced me to watch it, I actually liked it. But so, yeah, that's what I think the future of the CW is. We'll see if I'm right, but that's how I see things going anyway, Scott. Anyway, keep on commenting in the comments below after the premiere is finished. Let's keep the discussion going about this trailer. And in the next edition of the DCEU Daily, I will be all over this extended trailer of Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut, Trailer 2. How long is it going to be? You can tell me. How long was it? How long was it? Tell me. We're time traveling. It's timey-wimey, baby. I'm predicting about a 5-minute extended trailer. I could be wrong about that. My second prediction would be about 3.5 minutes. But we will see. I think it's going to be a long one. But I could be wrong. It could just be a standard 1 minute 30 seconds. But we will see. Whatever it is, however long it is, I can't wait to see it and start reacting and discussing with you. Comment down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with that big Snyder Cut Justice League trailer reaction. See you again then. Bye-bye.